happy people? Today I wanted to talk to you about all of the Harry Potter sets that are dropping on June 1st. And coincidentally, they're all sitting behind me, so I'm just going to be grabbing them one by one and talking about them with you. Thanks so much to the LEGO group for sending these sets over to me for review. All thoughts and opinions are my own. First up, we have Aragog in the Forbidden Forest. This LEGO set is going to retail for $19.99 USD and is 195 pieces. It's a pretty cute little set. You do get 2 minifigures in Ron and Harry. You get 2 spiders, and then of course the giant buildable Aragog. Aragog looks pretty cool. I'll be honest, I was actually thinking of making a mock. This is kind of morbid, but a mock of the scene in The Half-Blood Prince where they're at Aragog's funeral, and I think this is going to be the perfect spider to use for that. One really cool thing, the eyeballs in the front are a printed part. You can actually move the pincers up and down and these, I don't know, side pincers side to side. And you also have some limited, but you can move the 8 legs up and down. Oh, and then there's also this little cobweb section to show Aragog's lair. It has these clips on the sides, so you can actually clip this to the Forbidden Forest Magical Creatures set. They're literally all on these same little circles with the same coloring throughout, just like that set. Except the spiders in that set are glow in the dark. Anywho, next up is the Hogwarts Castle Potions Classroom. This set is going to retail for $39.99 USD and is 397 pieces. You get 4 minifigures, Severus Snape, in an all-new mold, finally for Professor Snape. So he has a different torso than before. Before he had like a purple vest, and now he has a silver vest. He also has some detailed leg printing on the front side. And look at this, they also gave him arm printing. A little unnecessary, but also a very cool thing to do here. So far, this Snape is exclusive to this LEGO set. You also get a Pansy Parkinson in her Slytherin getup. And get this, y'all. They gave her dual triple molded legs. Like, this is insane. This is not printed. I do feel like this was kind of a waste because Pansy gets a skirt that basically hides the top black part. So you only see the gray part of her tights. This Hermione minifigure, who also gets that same leg treatment as Pansy Parkinson. And then Seamus Finnegan, who again has that burnt face because something exploded in the potions classroom. I think this is our 3rd Seamus minifigure with that same treatment on his face. Now taking a look at the potion classroom set itself, there are 2 desk areas. It's pretty cool because then you can sit the students here and you can have Professor Snape sitting at the front of the class. You have these little containers of potion ingredients. I really like them. This set did include 2 of the collectible portraits. There's going to be 14 total that you can get in the combinable giant Hogwarts castle set when you combine all of the pieces together. Probably the most annoying part for me was having to put these curved stickers on the top archways. But overall, I was pleasantly surprised by this set. This is not a set that I was looking forward to building at all. I already have the previous Potions Classroom set, which I thought was really cute and I like how it folds up. But this is a more substantial Potions Classroom set. You get an entire setting, you get archways. You actually also get a little doorway into the dungeon itself. And the best part for me is that you can fold this entire classroom up pretty neatly into this cube. Now you'll notice that there are holes here for Technic parts. I believe that's so that you can insert it into a larger piece of the castle. I've stated in previous reviews, they are now doing a new giant castle build that you can get by combining your LEGO sets. And in the back of this box, it's actually telling you to combine it with 76435, which is the Great Hall, which we are going to get into in a few minutes. But I did have a lot of fun building it. It comes with 4 minifigures, one of which is Snape with that new detailed arm printing and the new torso, which I think looks really good. The details inside the classroom itself are really cool too. Next, let's talk about this buildable Hippogriff Buckbeak. This is another set that was a pleasantly fun build. This set is going to retail for $59.99 USD and is 723 pieces. This set will have a tiny little pumpkin patch, which just makes for really cute scenery, and there is a little raven up here that I just thought was a cool detail. My largest concern before I even had this set in hand was space. How much space is this going to take up on a display? Because when he's standing up and his wings are spread, he's pretty large. The tail has full range of motion up and down. So does his head because they are on ball joints. Really, the big selling point on this set is the posability that it offers. You can bend Buckbeak's front legs and his back legs so that he kneels. You know that to show that they respect you. You bow to them and then they kneel for you. I think that's a really cute option for a posing. And my favorite part is that the wings can be twisted and bent backwards and tucked in very neatly, or you can just kind of have him sitting on his hind legs. At $60, I do kind of wish there was a minifigure or 2 included. Maybe just one of those repeat Harry and Hermione Hermione's. And honestly, you can just grab one of the Harrys or Rons from another Lego set and stick them back here. Not quite to scale, but still really precious. So the star of this whole wave for me was this really adorable Mandrake Lego set. I just could not believe how cute it looks. This set retails for $69.99 USD and is 579 pieces. Truly, this set was such a joy to build. It just was entirely too precious. I love that you can pull him out of his little pot. There's even this mechanism for his arms to go up and his mouth to open. I love that they use this heart upside down for his nosy. It's just everything about this is so cute. His little root legs that fold upward when you tuck him back into his pot, wrapping around these Lego stringy pieces to make vines. I really like that. The texture overall and shape of this is just so perfect. He looks like a giant peanut almost. The pot will be what you build last. My biggest disappointment with this set, there's actually two, is that these giant leaf prints are stickers. I really thought that they were going to be printed, and I thought this is going to be a game changer. This is going to be incredible. It's not a deal breaker for me personally, but I can see how a lot of people are going to be disappointed about that fact. I never mind applying larger stickers because they're a lot easier to apply than smaller stickers. The second largest disappointment in this set, I really thought that as horrifying as the Mandrake cry is, it really could have used a sound brick somehow, but I love how this looks. Before I knew that this was a set that I was going to be getting from the LEGO Ambassador Network, this was 100% going to be a day one buy for me. I do think that the $70 price tag is a little steep for what you get. Maybe getting a Professor Sprout would have been cool. A mini Mandrake or Harry, Ron, and Hermione with their earmuffs would have all been an inclusion that would have made the $70 price tag just perfect. We're officially over the halfway point of this entire June 1st Harry Potter wave, and now let's take a look at Ollivander's and Madame Malkin's robes Lego set. This is going to retail for $89.99 USD and is 744 pieces. This set comes with 6 minifigures, a brand new minifigure of Padma Patil, a reuse of this Harry Potter minifigure, a random wizard character, which I do appreciate the inclusion of this character because it is the first time we see a character in Harry Potter in a wheelchair. There is also this random witch, and she is selling flowers in a flower cart on the street. Of course, we get Garrick Ollivander for Ollivanders and Madame Malkin for Malkins. Something I thought was really cool is that this box opens upward like this. I guess this is something new that they're trying. I don't know if this is going to be permanent. Personally, I am a fan. For storage purposes, it's just nicer to be able to slide this in and not have a flap open at the end. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts, if that's something you think is a positive or a negative. Onto the builds themselves, you're actually able to build them both at once. So if you wanted to build with a friend, you can. Here's a little street sign pointing you towards Gringotts Bank, Quality Quidditch Supplies, and Flourish and Blots. I'm assuming this means that we're going to continue getting all of the Diagon Alley Lego sets individual in this form. For reference, we already have Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which came out, was it last year or 2 years ago? You do kind of have a better idea of what these Lego sets are supposed to look like. So they're meant to be more affordable. You can buy them separately, piece them together how you want, get the buildings that you want or don't want, but you can still connect them together via the Technic pieces, which I think is a really great opportunity just for people who didn't want to buy the entire giant Diagon Alley set, right? For $500 or however much it costs. They're a little less detailed than the larger ones in Diagon Alley, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no detail on the inside. So on the second floor of Madame Malkin's, for example, you can see a sewing machine, a bunch of different colors used for sewing. There's actually 2 mannequins in here. I think it's really cool. And then 2 capes hanging. I really like that inclusion of these capes. And then here we have a look at Ollivander's. Here's a look at the inside. I love that you can slide this ladder across the store. The shelving here with the wands can actually fold outwards if you wanted to display it on this side. And I had never seen Lego Harry Potter ones that weren't just like your stock Lego Harry Potter wands. So I love that we get to use these on the display in 2 different colors. And now I am just going to be absolutely torn about which Lego sets I'm going to want to display, the full Diagon Alley or these sort of smaller, more shelf-friendly versions that it looks like we're going to start getting. For your reference, I did want to bring out the Ollivanders that is part of the Diagon Alley set. Now, there is not a building for Madame Malkin's, and the Ollivanders building comes attached to Scribulus. There's like a store for writing supplies. So as you can see, it's a lot taller, but it does maintain its sense of detail on the outside and even on the inside. Like, I would argue that this new Ollivanders is better because it doesn't have a roof, you know, so you can see and play around the inside much better than you can over here. You know, you can display minifigures in there, but it's kind of dark. Ultimately, obviously, it matters what you need as a collector or on your displays. The new, more compact one does allow for easier play, whereas this one kind of begs for it to have a lighting kit in there and then a scene that is just like permanently on there without playing with it. Now for the other star of this wave. Who am I kidding? This is the star of the wave. From the moment I saw the announcement of this wave, I knew that I was going to get the Mandrake and this Triwizard Tournament, the Arrival, which includes the Durmstrang Ship and the Beauxbaton's carriage. There's always an argument whether it's Beauxbatons or Beauxbatons. Dumbledore says Beauxbatons in the movie. I've never listened to the audiobook, so I don't know how they say it in the audiobooks. But anyway, this Lego set is going to retail for $140 USD and is 1,229 pieces. This set, I can tell you right off the bat, is 1,000% worth the price tag on it. Really quick, this Lego set also opens by removing the top part like a shell. I am a really big fan of that. First up, let's take a look at the minifigures included in this Lego set. We get a new Victor Crumb, and he has a fur-lined coat. I love that. Also really enjoy the printing on his legs. Igor Karkaroff has dual molded legs and a pretty neat looking torso as well. Madame Maxine, who quite honestly ends up looking quite terrifying with these extra long legs that they added on her. And I know that these legs have been done before for the Na'vi in the Avatar sets and for Eggman in the Sonic sets and a bunch of others, but it just will never stop looking weird to me. I wish they had just given her a skirt piece at this point, but she does scale nicely with Hagrid, so there's that. They also gave her the longer Hagrid arms, so I don't know, do with that what you will, but I think this is the stuff of nightmares. Oh, and of course we get Fleur de la Cour, also with dual molded legs. Love this figure. This is my first Fleur de la Cour minifigure, so I'm really excited to have this as a part of my collection. Some side mini builds include the Goblet of Fire, where you toss your name in.
Harry, you put your name in a goblet of fire.
And then, of course, the Triwizard Cup. Before we get into the ship, let's talk about the carriage first. The carriage is really beautiful, reminiscent of something out of Cinderella, except this is a Pegasus horse. The horse is really cool. It's quite small, considering this is supposed to be living quarters for the girls of Beauxbatons. It's really, on the inside, just looks like a passenger carriage, which is also okay if, you know, it's just meant to scale to the ship. On the backside, there is a luggage piece with some teacups in it. You can remove the top part of the carriage pretty easily to allow for easier gameplay other than just opening and closing these doors. And it rolls really easily. I personally would like to display this on an acrylic display so that it's, you know, flying obviously like the carriage does in the movies. But I know we've all been waiting to talk about this incredible looking ship. This is the first Lego ship I've ever built. It did not disappoint. It's quite frankly making me want to buy more Lego ships, like pirate ships and things like that. Everything about building this was so fun. Making the angles, how everything attached, it was beautiful. I love the colors. Look at the amount of cloth used in this. Oh my goodness. We have the Durmstrang color banners over here, like the Durmstrang logo. It's not really the easiest, but you can lift this cover on the ship and there is like a sleeping quarters back there. There's a little bed and a little table. Just cover that right back up. And by removing these 3 wires down to the side, you can remove this part of the build. And there's a chair here for, I don't know, for Igor, I guess. He's just like sitting there on this throne in the ship eating chicken. Kind of random, but you know, that is something that you can do if you really want. Oh wait, I'm way past the minifigures, but I forgot to show you guys Barty Crouch. He's not that exciting. The stickers in this set, basically all of these little water images that you see are stickers. All of these shields are stickers, and these like angry faces along the sides of the ship are stickers. You can make the argument that at $140, maybe we should have had less stickers, but I personally wasn't too bothered by the application of any of these. This is definitely the set in this wave that I would recommend the most, especially because I know that people who love Lego ships were really shook when this announcement came out, and rightfully so. It looks so cool. I do wish the carriage was a little bit bigger. Okay, now for this monster of a Lego set, the Hogwarts Castle, the Great Hall. This is gonna retail for $199 USD and is 1,732 pieces. It has that cool removable top part of the box thingy. Included with this set is a brand new mountain troll that looks amazing. My biggest gripe with the mountain troll is the accessory they gave him doesn't really stay on his hand very well, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. We have this Albus Dumbledore minifigure. Professor Quirrell and his Voldemort face looks really creepy. Professor Vector, Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, Leanne, who I guess is a Hufflepuff, Daphne Greengrass, who looks like a Slytherin, and Terry Boot, who looks like a Ravenclaw. And then, of course, we have the Fat Friar, which is a brand new minifigure. I think I said this before in my review of the Owlery and the Boathouse. I have never been a fan of when Lego makes these separate castle builds that you're supposed to put all together. This is a Lego set that I just wasn't too excited for. Like, I know it looks really cool, but I was like, oh, it's just another piece of the castle. Like, maybe I'll change my mind once I see like the final build. But I have to say, I put my foot in my mouth there because this set was truly a joy to build. I had so much fun. You start off by building the base of the build, and then you build the courtyard, and then you build the Great Hall, and then you build the individual little rooms that you can slide in and out of the underside of the castle. The staircase here on the side looks really cool. I noticed it has like these things here, so I'll bet you this connects to another Lego set. Maybe the boathouse? Okay, so I had to go out and grab the boathouse, and it does look like it perfectly clips on. There's these two clips on the back of the boathouse, so you get to clip it down here so your students can come right off of the boat and upstairs into the Great Hall. This is already making me way too excited about like connecting all of these sets together. But for now, let's just focus on the Great Hall. I love the courtyard. It gives you plenty of space to, you know, set up minifigures around here to sit them down. The doors into the Great Hall open. This clock is a printed part. It just looks really cool. Turning the set over into the Great Hall itself, you can see like the house banners. Those are all stickers, by the way. There are some floating candles. There is this one part that I was like, huh, usually you have these round pieces that are like inversed studs to hold the roof together, but that's actually meant there to be a moon. So it's making it look like there's a sky inside the Great Hall, just like in the movies. I love it. There's two long tables for your students to eat, so I kind of placed some minifigures there already, and then a smaller table at the head of the Great Hall where I placed Albus Dumbledore. So the set includes 5 of the collectible portraits that you can collect of the 14 in all of these connectable sets that will make one giant castle. 4 of them are in this middle compartment underneath the Great Hall, which you can pull out and fold out to see these portraits all together and just plop them back in. The 5th one is in this little, I thought it was a kitchen at first, but I guess it's the Hufflepuff common room. You can't totally tell, but the rug underneath this table is yellow and black. And then here is the 5th collectible printed portrait. The last hidden room for this Lego set is, of course, the bathroom, the famous troll in the dungeons. Thought you ought to know. So this is what I was talking about, that here's his little bludger, but it doesn't really fully hold in his hand, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. You can fold out the floors, bring out the door, remove these chunks of the door itself so it looks like the troll was in here destroying the bathroom. The set is just so incredibly thoughtful with details. And then when I mentioned earlier about the Potions Classroom set, because the back of the box for the Potions Classroom Lego set does say it's combinable with this set. Unfortunately, that means that you'll be removing the Hufflepuff common room to slide in the Potions Classroom. And I almost feel like the Potions Classroom just makes more sense in here because everything down here is, you know, gray and stuff. The Hufflepuff common room was just really colorful, whereas the dungeon is like gray and there's a spider and there's a door inside the dungeon. I just think this fits in better with this set. Almost wish that they would have the Potions Classroom fit in somewhere else, or that we had gotten a more full Hufflepuff common room released alongside another wave where, you know, it can have its own space, because you're like, we have to like pick and choose which one we want to have in here. Then left over with this piece of classroom that you just have no idea where to put. But overall, I really have to stress just how happy I was with this build, how much fun I had building it, and just how great it looks as a standalone set. Like, this was something that I was very happy. I was happy to be proven wrong. So at $200, I do personally think that it's worth the $200 price tag. For 1,732 pieces, the price per part isn't totally there, but you do get a really great selection of minifigures and a really large amount of play features. But when this whole wave is ringing in at $620, obviously I understand that you need to pick and choose some things. My favorites in the wave are still the Mandrake and the Triwizard Tournament Arrival. The Great Hall and Madame Malkin's with Ollivanders is really close after that. Buckbeak and Aragog land somewhere near the bottom of my ranking, with the Potions Classroom also being one of those like I was pleasantly surprised to be wrong. If you've made it this far, please hit a thumbs up on my video. I would really appreciate it. If you liked what you see, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you here. Let me know in the comments what you think about this wave. I hope I covered enough of it. Feel free to drop any questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. And let me know what all you're picking up on June 1st.